to the Geek, the History Geek. I'm Mr. Hodges. You know what? I was sitting here today looking over the calendar for the month of June. I saw this holiday here on June 14th. Flag Day? What on earth is that? Why is it on the calendar? Whose idea was it to make it a holiday? Stay with me as we learn more about the U.S. flag and the important people, dates, and origins of this obscure U.S. holiday. Time to suit up. I love that. Ah, Following the fighting that began between the colonists and the British at Lexington and Concord in 1775, efforts began to create a colonial army to meet the British threat. Now, an army needs all sorts of things to be successful, such as training and food and weapons and ammunition and, well, even a flag. Yes, even a flag. The flag that they began to use at that time, called the Grand Union or the Continental Colors, appears to have been an attempt to compromise between the two different sides present at the Continental Congress. The radicals that increasingly wanted to see a split from Britain and a separate nation, and those that wanted to remain loyal and reconcile with King George and the British Parliament. The flag represented the colonists as fighting as 13 united colonies, but since we were fighting for our English rights, still loyal under British rule. The flag consisted of two different flags combined, the British flag and the flag used by the Sons of Liberty. Now, the Sons of Liberty was formed by a group of colonial citizens that were protesting British taxation and the actions of the British Parliament. Although starting in Boston, it had spread across the 13 colonies. Their original flag, with 9 vertical red and white stripes, known as the Rebellious Stripes, was flown from a liberty pole that had been erected by the protesting colonists. The 9 stripes representing the 9 colonies that came together to protest the Stamp Act. The British would outlaw the Rebellious Stripes. Later, this flag would change to 13 stripes, and the stripes would be displayed horizontally rather than vertically. These two flags would come together to form the Continental Colors or the Grand Union flag. Now, as the fighting continued, it became clear that having a flag that closely resembles that of your enemy would be seen as a problem during a time of war. So, following the writing of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the push for a new flag began. It appears that elements of the flag came from the familiar colors of the red, white, and blue of the British flag. It also appears that it might have been born out of the early design suggested by Francis Hopkinson, which appears to have been a combination of the flag used by the Sons of Liberty and General Washington's flag as the commander-in-chief. Based on several affidavits, it appears that Betsy Ross might have suggested some changes to the stars in their arrangement in the blue field called a canton that would lead to our first true Stars and Stripes. On June 14th, 1777, the Second Continental Congress, in an attempt to promote national identity and national pride, adopted the Stars and Stripes as the national flag almost a year after declaring independence from Britain. However, the congressional resolution is not that clear. It said, resolved that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternate red and white, that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. Now think about that. What does that mean? Does that really clearly state what the flag should look like? It's rather ambiguous, isn't it? Are the stripes to be vertical or are they horizontal? Where is the blue field located? What do the stars look like? And what pattern should they be put in? Besides the first flag, what we call the Betsy Ross flag today, this would lead to many different designs over the course of the war. The designs would continue to vary based on the flag maker's preferences until in 1912, when President Taft signed an executive order that clarified the standard arrangement for the stars and what the flag should look like. So June 14th, 1777 is the anniversary of the flag resolution. Therefore, it is the birthday of the U.S. flag. That's so cool! So how did we come to celebrate the birthday of the flag, and why is it on our calendar? Well, following the U.S. Civil War, there was a rise in patriotism, and as the 100th anniversary of the events surrounding the birth of our country came around, many people celebrated those events. It should be no surprise that the first celebration of the U.S. flag's birthday would be on June 14th, 1877, the 100th anniversary of the resolution. However, it would appear that the modern day holiday is actually linked to a Wisconsin school teacher, B.J. Sagrand. He began organizing an annual celebration in 1885 with his school children, and he began to publicly advocate for a yearly observance. He would go on to become the president of the American Flag Day Association and the National Flag Day Society. 4 years later, in 1889, another school teacher in New York City, George Balch, would have his class celebrate Flag Day on June 14th, too. The idea became popular enough that it was adopted by the state of New York and by the State Board of Education, too. This observance of the birth of the U.S. flag would slowly grow and spread. However, it would remain only a state and local celebration. Now, that would change in 1916 when President Woodrow Wilson would officially establish June 14th as a nationwide observance of Flag Day through a presidential proclamation, and later President Harry Truman would make it official in 1949 when he would sign congressional legislation designating June 14th each year as Flag Day. Although it has never been officially designated a federal holiday, the purpose was to encourage citizens to display Old Glory outside of their homes and businesses. Unfortunately, most people today are unaware of this holiday and this tradition. Perhaps as Americans, it is time for us to purchase a flag or to take the flag out of its place of storage and to let it fly for all to see. Each time we fly the flag, we owe it to ourselves and to our nation to think about our past and the sacrifices made by our ancestors to give us a nation and our freedom. But I would also challenge you to truly consider what our American values are and encourage ourselves and other Americans to live to be the best citizens that we can be. But more importantly, I feel that we owe it to Bernard Sagrand, the father of Flag Day, to resurrect this holiday, not just to celebrate the flag and freedom, but because the creation of the Flag Day holiday shows us the power of what the impact of the ideas, hard work, and dedication of one citizen can have on the future and on the country. Well, I wanted to end this video by wishing the flag of the United States a happy birthday. Long may it wave. If you want more information about the flag and Betsy Ross, check out my video covering that topic. And as always, if you like this video, please vote for more history by giving it a like. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for notifications for future videos. Well, until next time, when I ask the question, did you know? I am Mr. Hodges, and this is the History Geek.